Welcome back to the community, everyone, and thanks for being part of it. I truly appreciate it. This is not just a channel, this is growing into a community. I'm going to try to figure something out with the website. I've not put enough time into it lately, but I'm going to get back onto it and try to create a forum where all you folks that are coming here can gather together and go onto a forum and chat back and forth with me and with each other. So give me some time. The website was a challenge, but I got it up and running. It's great. People are contributing photos to the members' rides. If you've been emailing me and saying it takes you a week to get back to me, I get a lot of emails. Please understand that. I'm trying to help as many people as I can. So be patient, and we're going to try to get a forum up and running where we can all chat back and forth on air. I'll do the best I can. Just please be patient. If you haven't gone to the website yet, please do. Lots to see and do there. Stickers, t-shirts, and apparel. That was a long intro today, and I apologize for that. All right, today what we're going to do, we're going to put grease fittings in tie rod ends and ball joints. Now, I'm not going to sit there and put them in every single one and bore you with repetition over and over, but we'll do one or two together, and then you'll be on it your own, okay? So, what did they do over the years? Years ago, they had ball joints and tie rod ends with grease fittings. You went in and got an oil and lube done. Lube the chassis. Anybody remember that? Probably. And that magically started going away. You guys weren't wearing enough parts out and buying parts over and over and over. Stuff don't last like it used to, so let's make it last. Let's put fittings in. Altogether, it'll cost you like 12, 13 bucks. Comes with, I think, 10 or 15 fittings, a drill bit, and a tap. I have a tap already, but I needed the drill bit, so I bought it together. And that way you can grease your chassis every time you change the oil. And the ball joint inside of there, or the tie rod end joint, will move smooth and not wear down. Very long intro. Okay, first thing is first. As you can see, the tie rod ends and ball joints, I have them laying over there, there's no grease fittings in these. You want to be able to shoot grease through the top, so it goes around the whole ball and down inside. And that keeps these moving easily. Mine are a little stiff. It's 32 degrees in here today. So, or 30 degrees. And I have a torpedo heater, but it's cold. I can't run the heater while I'm filming. It's loud. Anyhow, I don't know where I went with that. The fittings should be put in and greased, just like they were years ago. Now, it's come a time where it seems most of the tie rod ends and ball joints that you receive now, there's no longer fittings on them, so you can't grease them. The nature of the beast now is wear the parts out quick and buy more. It's a throwaway society. So, since you're into vintage cars and you like your older cars, even if you have a Chevelle, it don't matter, or a Falcon, you still want to be able to grease the chassis. So let's put fittings in these. I'll go through a couple of them with you, and after that, you're on your own. You can do the rest. I'm not going to bore you with 10 or 12 fittings. So let's get on it. All right, so we have our drill bit and our tap, and we have our fittings. Where's my glasses so I can cheat? Okay, let me bring these near the camera. See. Okay. Then okay, that's all you need to know. So what we're going to do is we are going to set up the tie rod in a vise. Yeah, it's pretty strong. It ain't going nowhere. And we're going to get the drill set up to go through the top. So let me get that all set up. So we have our tie rod at a bench. Make sure it's tight where it can't move around, okay? I like leaving the nut on these, all right, just so that, you know, you don't bugger up the ends of the threads. Also, you're going to need a 7mm and 6mm wrench for the tap and for the fitting. Now, I simply could put my tool on there to hold the tap, but if you don't have a tap and die set, you're not going to have the tool I could use to hold it, so I don't want to do that to you. We're going to go ahead, drill down through the top. I'm going to use some cutting oil when I use the tap on it. And we're going to go ahead and get the fitting in. And we're going to grease it, and then you'll be able to see. I'll try to get this boot off and see where the grease is coming out, and you'll see what I mean about it coming down around the ball inside and greasing the whole thing. So let's get started on this. Hopefully we can drill as straight as possible. It don't have to be perfectly even, but you know, center to center, but you want to get it the best that you can, you know what I mean? So let me actually smack us with a little punch. Just a regular punch with a very sharp edge. So don't go get stupid and poke yourself with it. Okay. There we go. You just want a little dimple. Just to get so the drill bit don't start riding all over the place while you're trying to get it started. All right, enough talk, huh? I know. Okay. I can't find the chuck to my drill. Dang it. Okay. Now, you can feel when you break through. Don't keep acting like a maniac and go through it and drill into the ball. So as soon as you feel it break through, don't be putting pressure on. Let the drill do the work. Don't you push. You don't need to. This is thin metal here. Let the drill do the work, okay? And as soon as it breaks through, stop. Pull out. Do not keep pushing. So very lightly going through, okay? Okay, so we have our hole drilled. We're going to go ahead and run our tap in. Trying to keep out of your way, but it's not easy to do that. I had to get a smaller wrench. The wrench, the other one wasn't biting very well. So there we go. And we're tapping. Let me get a little more cutting oil on there. Okay. Don't want to go too far because this is really not a big depth in there, if you know what I mean. Okay. All right. Now this is trial and error for me, so let's see if our fitting goes in. Hopefully it does. Move the garbage can in case I drop this, which is very, very possible. I'll be out of your way in a second here. I gotta get this started and it's slipping in my hand. Wow, these are really tiny to hold. Ah. There we go. And do. You have to say that while you're putting it in. Okay, now, when you get to this part, don't jump on it hard and start cranking on this, or you will break it or it'll strip out. This is very thin pop metal here, it seems like. So just give it a snug. And that's it right there. Okay, that's in there. So what we're going to do now, I want to pop this boot off and I want to pump some grease in here and watch it come through the ball, the socket technically. So let's turn this that way. Okay. Let's take our little boot off. Let me get a little tool. All right, let's take this off. I want to watch the grease come out. Kind of weird, huh? You can use plastic pry tools. I'm not going to rip my rubber. I'm used to doing this. Okay, see there's some grease in there? Okay, I'm not saying there's no grease, but you want to be able to grease it. Let me get my gun. I don't know if I can bring you in any closer. Let me try. Now that's close. I'm going to put my grease gun on now. Even though I hate my grease gun, I need a new one. I have to push it extremely hard so it don't pop off. It's like, there we go. See it? Yeah, you do. You see it. Don't act like you're not. Okay, now, what that does is push this. Is all filled with grease up in here now. The ball for it. Okay? I need to do it more to get it all the way around inside. But I just did a quick shot to show you. Your grease will come down through. You can't get grease up inside of here. There's no way. So when you're putting it through a fitting, it comes down around the ball. All right? So what you're going to do after that is put your boot back on. Not that boot. Okay, and just take your screwdriver and work that on there if you need to. I didn't have to. Okay, wipe it off. And there we have it. Now, take a look at this. See how nice that is? It reminds you of like 1975 when you were able, I wasn't driving in, but when you were able to actually grease. So you want to do a ball joint together? Okay. So now we have our ball joint, okay? And what we're going to do is the same thing, go as close to the center as you can, okay? Then we're gonna drill and then tap and blah, 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 okay? So let's do the ball joint and then you're on your own after this because we'll have done a tie rod and a ball joint together. So let's take our center punch and knock it all over the place. Wait, this ain't tight enough. Okay, hopefully that is. So I just sent it all over the place. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead. I need to straighten this up a little. Got our new ball joint. We painted the arms. And I grunt when I'm doing this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and drill a hole, but remember, go slow. Don't put pressure on the drill. Let the drill do the work. And as soon as it breaks through, stop and pull out. Do not hit the ball socket. Okay. It didn't dimple as much as I would have liked it to. Not sure why. You notice how I keep just tapping it? Just like that. Just don't go crazy and go nuts, you know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it clean here. Don't go nuts, okay? And don't brush shavings with the bare hand. I got gloves on. Notice I'm moving slow. I know I keep repeating it. Okay, now it broke through, but did you see? Let me explain something here. It broke through, but I never hit the ball. And the reason is because I kept hit and let go, hit, let go, hit, let go. Almost like a song. And when you do that, the drill bit is stopping when you let go. So when you do break through, you're not running full steam and then bam. So, okay, we're gonna go ahead. I got my tool out this time. Do a little bit of cutting oil here. We're gonna grab a hold of the tap. I gotta get it tightened in here, give me a second. Okay, what am I doing? That was dumb. Let's get this in here. A little bit cutting oil around here. Okay. And my tool's coming loose. Oh, there we go. Okay. Remember, there's not much you're working with here. Can you see that? So you're going down in. This tool kind of stinks. Can hear it cutting a bit. Now don't go too far, you know what I mean? You don't want to go down again into the ball socket. Let me see how far. That might be enough. I think it is. Let me get my little light. Okay, looks good. Okay, and if you get a couple little shreds in there, don't freak out. Actually, your grease will probably push some of it out. Okay, so we'll go ahead, get our grease fitting in there. I forget what size it was. Yep, right there. Give it a little snug. Okay, don't go too tight, remember. And that's it. Basically then, you're just going to be greasing and it'll push the grease down around the ball inside the socket. So as you've seen, there's not a lot to this, but I think it's a really good idea. And I'm not probably the first one to ever do this, but it shows you that you can still make parts last longer than they used to by spending 10 bucks and putting grease fittings in all your joints, okay? But remember, don't go crazy and drill down too far and hit the ball of your ball joint inside the socket, okay? Just take your time like I did, little shots, little shots. You don't even have to do this. It's just something I wanted to do to get some longevity out of my parts. So stay tuned, much more to come. We're gonna go ahead and degrease the engine block that we split. I'm going to try the Super Clean. I promised them I would try that on camera and give a review. So next week we'll be doing the Super Clean degreasing of the engine case and taking a look at it and see what it looks like. So I hope everybody has a great upcoming weekend.